Hello, this is Anthony, and today I want to take a look at Debian 12 and getting a desktop environment set up on it from scratch. And this consists of BSPWM. So I just kind of want to take you through this and show you what the process looks like. We're starting in a virtual environment using a Debian live ISO installer. So just so you know, that's how I am doing this. So I just have a little bit of downtime between now and work, so I figured I would have some time to kind of show you what all needs to happen. Debian's fine. Make sure to set a very secure password, but in my case I'm not going to do that. I do not recommend using password as your password, but here we are. And I've decided to use a 20 gigabyte virtual disk, and we're going to use all files in one partition. And we're going to write changes, and we're going to continue. And we're going to wait for this to finish. But it shouldn't take too terribly long. This process is going to be a lot more painless than our Alpine Linux look. So this one should be a little bit easier, but I think it's also going to be a much more usable system. And as I experience more things, as I grow a little bit in the technology space, the more I decide that I want to use Debian over any other distribution. And the reasons are very straightforward. So I've been a Fedora user for about a year and some change, about a year and 3/4, if we're being on the nail here. We don't want extra, that's fine. States, I had trouble with Debian, deb.debian.org, but we'll try it again. But yeah, so Fedora has been giving me a lot of issues that I've noticed over the past, give or take, 2 years that I've been using it. It's very easy to, well, I don't want to say it's very easy, but it's considerably easier to break Fedora, more so than Debian. But there's also less support, in my experience, for the user case for Fedora. And this poses many problems, and obviously the largest problem that poses is there's just a lack of packages compared to other distributions of Linux. I've also been an Arch user for a similar amount of time, probably 2 years of just day-to-day usage, and it's got its own problems, really. And oh, it's because that was in context. So yeah, with Fedora, so there's problems of package availability. You have to rely on Flatpak or Snap or app images. Really, if there's not something available and you want it available, that's the problem. I'm also just not a fan of the package manager. I'm not a fan of Yum or RPMs. I think that's more of a Red Hat environment necessity rather than an end user package manager. So that's my complaints about Fedora. I've given it a very fair look over the past 2 years, and it's buggy. It's got plenty of issues, and the reason why is it's Red Hat's testing environment for new changes that they want to make in Red Hat at some point downstream. And that's the reason why some things can be unstable and very iffy. And with Arch Linux, it's a very similar situation. It can be, because it's rolling, it can be very unstable, and this isn't a good thing if you're dependent on the reliability of a system and not getting strange errors. Okay, so we have Vim. Okay. And where was I headed with this? Yeah, so the issue is with Arch is there's tons of stuff available for Arch, especially in the AUR. The AUR is wonderful, except when you have to build from source, and it forces you to build from source. And that's problematic for a few reasons. So when you're hello, okay, I forgot to press I. Oh, we also need contrib. So my complaints with Arch are well founded. It's known to be a very questionable operating system for stability, and it's very easy to break Arch systems. I've broken many installations on my laptops of Arch installations, and I'm just not a big fan of Arch. I think it's more of a hobbyist use case, and purely that. I don't like the instability of Arch, and I haven't really seen, I've seen some good implementations of Arch Linux as far as a distribution goes, like forks of the main Arch distribution, and where it adds a desktop environment. And it's great for learning how Linux works, especially kind of an exotic system such as that. However, there are a lot of instability issues, and I'm not a fan of it. And that's really all there is to say about it. That's just my experience. Your experience is going to be different, but being a Linux full-time user of about 4 years now at this point, I really don't like Fedora. I really don't like Arch Linux. And the other derivatives, you've got a whole ton of other derivatives that use different package managers. You know, there's non-systemd ones. I think those are special. I think there's a use case. I just don't think it's necessarily in the user ecosphere. But and that kind of this rant is getting into why I'm mostly favorable towards Debian. I think Debian is really the operating system that I'm going to end up landing on potentially permanently. I like the stability. It's one of the most popular distributions of Linux, and as such, there's, you know, when people design stuff for Linux, usually Debian and Ubuntu are the first that come to mind when designing a package and releasing it. So that is why I'm kind of leaning more towards using Debian over other distributions. And I don't like Ubuntu because it's designed to be a seamless user experience out of the box, and Debian is just a step below that, where they allow you the freedom to do a headless install and not have all this extra bloat and not be forced to install things as snaps. That's really annoying to me. I really don't like that. So, I don't know. You take it for what you will, but this is kind of my distro hopping experience, and kind of what I've learned over the years is it's really easy to break Arch Linux, and it's sometimes unstable, especially if you don't upgrade correctly and you don't read the release notes and you didn't do the right command, and you end up breaking your system, you know. So Arch Linux is great to learn on, but I don't see it as a permanent user. I don't see it as a permanent place to stay. I don't call it home. I don't call Fedora home because there's a lack of package availability, and usually when I'm trying to do something and there's instructions for Debian or Ubuntu systems, usually it is a lot more complicated on Fedora for some things, not all things, but some things. And I just find that really kind of annoying. So let's go ahead and just get started. So what we did is we edited the repositories, and we edited in contrib and non-free repos in case we need anything from there. And you're going to need to do this, well, you don't probably need to do this necessarily if you're using NVIDIA, but the proprietary drivers might be the way to go. You know, it's all kind of just up to you. So so let's get into this. So what we did, is we enabled our contrib and non-free repositories within etc apt sources.list, and we updated and we upgraded. So that's kind of the first thing that I'm going to have you do. And the next thing that we need to do is we need to apt install BSPWM. And let's look at what this includes. Hopefully this includes Xorg. It looks like the new packages will be installed. Oh, so it's giving us lemon bar. Just for the sake of this video, I'm going to configure Polybar because it's really quick and easy. So we're going to be installing Polybar as well, and we'll make that one command. So I just want to see what packages are included. But it looks like we got X11 common. We should have BSPWM. Yes. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to rerun this command, but we're going to add Polybar. We're going to add, and I'm going to stick with xfce4 terminal. So if you remember correctly, in our Alpine Linux installation video featuring BSPWM, we had to install xfce as a whole. xfce4 terminal, when you added it to your system in Alpine, or at least for me when I did, it didn't pull in all of the required dependencies in order to launch xfce4 terminal. And instead I needed the entire xfce system. However, in Debian, I think it should just pull the packages that we need. So we really shouldn't run into a whole lot of issues. And we really shouldn't have to install xfce. So as a desktop environment. So we should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do this now. And yes, that looks good to me. And I want to see if Debian has the QXL video driver packages. So that would be Debian repo. Let's look for XF86 video QXL Debian. Let's just make sure that this is there. This is Buster. Well, okay, so it looks like it's named a little bit differently than it is in Alpine. If Linux is running inside a Red Hat virtual environment, yep. More about it. So this package is built from the Xorg XF86 video QXL. So this is what we need instead. So let's just move this up here. And let's do an apt install xserver org video QXL. Let's just make sure we have that so we're good to go. And I'm also going to ask for, and I'll show you how to configure all of this. It's super simple. It's just a matter of typing commands. But we want spice VD agent. This is going to be different from you. This is this driver, the Xserver Xorg Video QXL, and the Spice VDA GENT package are just for me because I'm using Virtmanager, which uses QEMU and KVM. So it's going to be a little bit different from you. Each process with virtual machines are going to be different, but when you do an install onto hardware, you want to take a different approach. And I've done that, and I've done it successfully, so it's not too complicated. You just have to follow a different set of instructions. Alright, and then let's add Firefox. It's probably the extended release version, which is fine. I have to search Firefox. What do we got? What do we got? Let's pipe that to less. And we want, oh, it's right here. So yeah, it's Firefox ESR. So let's apt install Firefox. I believe that is extended stable release. So let's get this as well. While we're thinking about those items, we're going to need to make a couple of .config directories. So we're in root right now. Is sudo on the system? Sudo is not found, so we need sudo. So let's install sudo, and we're going to switch our user. And it looks like we are having an internet connectivity issue. Why is it doing that? You know, it might do some good to reboot. No, oh, it's okay, cool. So we're gonna add user Anthony to sudo. Done. We're going to reboot, and we're going to log in as Anthony, our user with sudo privileges. So Anthony, our super secure password. Let's make sure that sudo works. Yes, it does. All right. Now we got a what directory we're in our home directory. So we got a mkdir. Gotta make the parent directory, and then we want a .config. We want BSPWM. We want .config sxhkd, and we gotta make sure we have this package installed. BSPWM on Debian, when you install it, should have pulled this in, but we'll just double check. Alright, cd.config law sxhkd. That one always gets me. Sudo apt install sx, and let's actually do the package. Forget if it's a capital L or lowercase l. List, it's an uppercase. D package L sxhkd. So we do have it. All right, awesome. Just as I thought. Now we're going to need to also create, no, we're not creating, we are copying. So let's get locate on the system. Oh, there we go. Sudo update the database for locate. And then we're going to locate, we want BSPWMRC, and it is there. So we're going to copy user share doc BSPWM examples BSPWMRC. We're going to forward that to our config BSPWM directory. Now we also need to locate the sxhkd RC file, and I believe that should be in the same directory. Yes, it is. So we can just kind of reuse this command. There we go. Awesome. All right, and now what we want to do is let's just make sure we have sudo in case we run into any issues. We shouldn't run into any issues, but we want to edit the sxhkd.rc file. And for our terminal, we don't want this, we want our xfce4 -terminal, and that's going to be super return by default. And we're going to make another file, and it's going to be our xinitrc. Did I spell that correctly? xinitrc. Yes, that is correct. Let's just make sure we have sudo. And here we're going to do exec BSPWM. We're going to also install some supporting packages. We're going to install fe for the background, and we're going to install dmenu. We're going to install what else are we going to install? We're going to add we have Polybar. We got to install Picom. Xrender, we may not need that. I'm just going through my notes here on another screen to make sure. But we are looking pretty good, so and while we're looking at that, I'm just going to log in over here, and we're going to be looking at our cat.xinitrc exec BSPWM. Awesome. Okay, we should be able to start X or not. We might need XOR. Yep, that'll be it. That's it. And then let's apt search. Is that how you even spell it? I think it is. Oh, and I'm not using an NVIDIA card, so it doesn't matter, actually. I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused with last time when I installed this on hardware. Start X. Awesome. There we go. Okay. Is Picom? I think it is. We do. Alright, now that we're in here, let's get rid of the menu bar. Let's actually go to Preferences, Appearance, Display Menu Bar on New Windows. There we go. And we'll worry about this scroll bar here in a minute. But for now, we want What do we want to do next? Oh yes, we need to make directory. We need to make a Polybar configuration. Polybar. And we also need config Picom. Okay. And we are going to find out where picom.conf is. Well. How about just locate Picom? Really? I wrestled with this for hours. I know that these are stored in a different location than they are on Debian, so we might have to do some hunting down. CD, etc. XDG. Really? No, we're not using Wayland. No, we can't be using Wayland. No, we're using Xorg. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Locate picom.conf. Locate picom.conf.example. Okay, we gotta Google it. When you don't know the answer, you just have to Google it. This is the answer right here, I believe. Oh yeah, that's right. We can just run a D package. It's sample.conf. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna copy /user share doc Picom, if I can spell, examples, picom.sample.conf, and we're going to move that to .config picom.conf. Actually, yeah, we'll rename it in a second. Is this the right place for it? Yes, it is, according to my notes. CD Picom move to picom.conf. Picom.conf. Awesome. There we go. And then D package -L. Looking for Polybar. There it is, etc. Polybar config.ini. So we're going to copy /etc. Polybar config.ini, and we're going to .config Polybar, and we're moving it here. Now in our BSPWM file, we have to add these as startup programs. When BSPWM starts, we're going to name that accordingly. Auto start programs. We don't want commented lines. And we're going to add Picom config home.config picom.conf, and we're going to set it as a background. We're going to do Polybar. Xrandr should already be figured out. The display size should detect automatically. Well, you know, Maybe not. It might not. So in case we run into that, we will deal with that. We will deal with that. But for now, we don't need to deal with that. All right. I have a question. Can I? That's sick. Okay. Let's go find. There it goes. Let's go find us a nice mountain photo. Horizontal. Kind of like this one. What is the resolution? If we just do it this way. Okay. Can I copy and paste links now? I thought I had VDA. I thought I already had this. It's already installed, so you know, that's fine. I guess we just can't copy and paste between host and guest with this. There's probably some other package I'm missing. That's fine. Let's get rid of the scroll bar. Vim config xfce4 terminal rc. Let's go down to the end of our file and let's add scrolling bar equals terminal scroll bar none done. Sweet. Actually, we have D menu, so we don't need to. Oh my goodness. Don't ask me again. That's kind of annoying. Firefox. Let's get this set up correctly. Privacy. Awesome, it's already removed by default. I appreciate that. Where's our themes? There it is. Thank you. It's burning my eyes out. And then let's get rid of this. This is annoying. Search. It's under page. And it's going to be... Here we are. Blank. Blank. And let's actually sudo vim config rc. Let's add. There it is. So we don't need full screen. That's kind of pointless. And then we can add up here under terminal, we can say launch browser. Let's go home and make that a new line. We don't need a comment. It's going to be super plus F. We're going to launch Firefox. Okay, look at that. Nice. Question. Did we enable the Picom, the compositor? Yes, we did. Okay. And we're also going to install ZSH. Done. This is the ZSH shell configuration for new users. Seeing this message because you have no ZSH startup files. Function to prevent this, execute touch. Do I even have touch? Yes, I do. It's a pretty common touch. Boink. And then from here we can customize this and add in our autocompletes and stuff like that. I'm going to save that for another video. But let us interesting. Oppenheimer's a suggestion on a new Firefox install without any cookies or data. Mountains, snow. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix the resolution with xrender, which is totally okay. We can do that. I like this. Give me this. Free download, original. Thank you, Eberhard. I'm going to butcher that. I'm not even going to try. We don't have Thunar, so let's just get a file browser. It doesn't have to be the best, it just has to be a file browser. Almost done. Today, there it goes. It's just taking a while for some reason. Alright. Oh, it's even got actually not half bad. Can we just do that? I don't know. I can't see anything behind there. We're going to go to here. We're going to make a folder. Call it pictures. Drop it in. Add it there. Pictures. That's nice that it just automatically recognizes that. Now we want fe bg dash scale, and we want /home Anthony pictures. That done. We're going to take this line, we're going to copy it. We're going to vim.config BSPWM RC Shift Control V, quit. There we go. Preferences, appearance, transparent. Interesting. Reboot in order? I try. I try my very best. Okay, so are we still having issues then with it's still registering to us as an issue? Let's check our config BSPWM then. Picom. So we are running Picom. What's going on? Maybe we've got an issue here. We want /home Anthony. I'm going to guess that that's what it is, but let's also, while we're at it, let's check config Picom, because there's no, we didn't copy the configuration file. Are you serious? No, there is one. What? I'm sorry, what? Did I make a typo? Print the working directory, please. And let's get another one up. And vim config BSPWM rc home Anthony config picom.conf. And so what is the big deal? That is the full path. What is your problem? I want window transparency. Seriously? You just run the command. I didn't think that it would be error. Failed to initialize. So there's something I'm doing wrong. What am I doing wrong? Let's think about this for a minute. Let me look at my notes real quick here. Let's just see if we get a different result. Error, failed to initialize the backend. You're not using the NVIDIA driver? That's what I would guess. Maybe we just don't have we have it installed, so what's the deal? Nothing. Is there an apps? Well, that's the only thing that came up under QXL. Glix info. Sorry everyone, this is kind of an unexpected Xorg logs. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at our Xorg logs. I have a feeling as well. Change log. Currently not seeing. Exit this session. So what really? And we need to fix this screen resolution. This is getting annoying. Oh. Ooh. Well, what? Is Xrender installed? It is. Okay, so we're fine. Vim config BSPWM. We want Xrender. Output. I'm gonna guess it's called virtual 1 mode 1920 by 1080p. Oh, it didn't even save the output, or didn't even save the clipboard. I believe Red Hat calls this virtual 1 by 1080. Thank you. Thank you very much. But the whole problem is this. So our Picom is not working. That's really the problem here. Fatal error. No supported Vsync method. Error. No supported Vsync method. What happened to the wallpaper? Oh dear. Aha. Nice. And it didn't save my clipboard once again. So let's get that again. Picom copy. Setting Picom compositor. Oh my goodness. Let's fix that. Let's try that again. Picom Vsync guide. I have a feeling it's something really simple that we're just overlooking completely. The thing that stinks a little bit is this whole XF86 video QXL package. I am not convinced that it is working as we intend it to. I mean, it's here and it's built from this package in Debian. It's just given a different name, as far as I know. I'm thinking I'm gonna figure this out. It's just very odd. Question. Well, no. Why is Picom not working? You know, let's go ahead and look at the Debian shift. Let's go ahead and look at the Debian. Let's go ahead and look at Debian Picom. See if there's a guide. What? Update. What? Why would you want to do that? It does not talk about installing it. It talks about, well, it does not talk about configuring it. It talks about how to install it. Xorg. I wonder if there's just something very, very, very obvious. It's installed already. It's installed. Installed. Is there a really? Set the log file. STD error. Okay. Well, let's just try to write it to log file dot log cat. Or no. Yeah. Well, that doesn't tell us anything. Maybe it's gonna be Picom show X errors. Let's try specifying the config file again. No, nada. Vsync, no Vsync. Vsync, no Vsync. Vsync, no supported Vsync. Maybe. Okay. That's great. You know, it's a temporary solution, but it works, so. Restarting BSPWM. How do we do that? Because I really don't want to have to reboot the system every single time. That's kind of annoying. Well, we could just restart xorg, maybe? Systemctl status. X11? Debian list running. I can actually get that with top. We're fine. Top. Xorg. So I missed the capitalization. Systemctl status Xorg. Oh. Well. Just Google it. Google always has the answer. How do we start? That should actually give us the answer. Oh, it's Display Manager. Okay. Copy. And let's see. No. So when you terminate a window, you lose clipboard. That's kind of annoying. Whatever. What? It's gonna say not found again, but it's worth a shot. Yeah, it's not found. So GDM and MDM. Yeah, I know sudo reboot does it all, but I don't want to do that. I just want to restart the service. No such file or directory. X11 is there. What the heck? It's XDG. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You know, I'm about to give up and just reboot. Wait, no, wait, it's just called X. Well, we're still not getting anywhere, but that is fine. Restart xorg Debian. Xorg, no way. Status xorg-server. Where are the systemctl unit files stored? Systemd, it's gonna be somewhere under systemd. You know, we could just do that. Yeah, list unit files. So we got mount media, blah blah blah. Interesting. I like it. I like. Let's close. Nah. No. It's going to be some long and obscure name that's not the same on every single Debian system, isn't it? Oh, we've even got Hibernate and all of that. All of those services. Power off and bum bum. udiv x11 common. That ought to do it, but let's keep looking and make sure. Piece of cake. You know, we're just going to sudo reboot. I'm tired of trying to find the right service to restart, so that's, and plus there's probably going to be some orphan stuff that doesn't get rebooted that needs to be, and it could break something, so you know, it's probably just better that we reboot. And what the heck? Why is it still doing that? That's kind of annoying. So why are we still doing this again? So when oh, you know why? Look at this. We need to have xrender. What it's doing is it's setting the image first and then it's resizing the screen. We can't do that. So let's go ahead and take the longest command, Shift Control V, and let's insert, paste. We want to disable this dialog. That's kind of annoying. And we're going to delete this line. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's just make sure that took care of the problem, but it should have. Awesome, done. So yeah, that was the problem, y'all. So before you decide to issue an xrender command, that needs to be present before you decide to set the wallpaper. And I can't figure out how to change the settings, the appearance settings on this, but we're using white. Let's do some quality of life stuff here. Block, underline. I like that better. Cursor blinks. Oh, yes, please. Nice. That could work. Ooh, no, no, no. See, this looks kind of cool, but we just have to turn up the opacity, and make this a little darker. No, I kind of like this. I'm not a fan of the background. It's a little bit too dark for me. You know, let's throw black into it. No, bad idea. Much better. It is a little bit brighter, though, than most people would want. But yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to show you. I also figured something out. So if you let's say we open a Firefox, right? And we want to send this to screen 4. you do super, shift, and then num key 4, and then you can super 4 and just head over there. So you can change all of these with your numbers, which is really nice. I just figured that out the other day. So let's send this to 2, and if we go to 2, oh, we have a, that text is too faint though. I'm not a fan of that. Text is too faint. Colors, text color. I like this. Cancel, please. So it's kind of like a beige. It's like a bluish beige. Kind of like this. Yeah, like this almost. But let's get the right hue. It's going to be more towards here. Yes. And then just darker. Perfect. Sweet. And of course, Polybar, we can just replace this with something else. We don't have to use Polybar, and if we want to, we can just recolor this. But yeah, there we go. There we go. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes my Debian BSPWM configuration session. I hope there was some useful bits of information for you to learn from here, and I hope you learned from some of my mistakes, especially in figuring out the Vsync issue. I imagine you're not going to run into that issue if you're using a video driver meant for NVIDIA or Radeon or Intel or something of that sort. Or what's the other one? ATI, AMD. Yeah, I missed AMD. So you're probably not going to run into that Vsync issue that I did. And actually, let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go over here to display. Yeah, there's most likely something that I need to change there, but that's not too terribly big of a deal. Very nice. Very, very nice. And let's get a different font going, actually. Shout out to, actually, do we want, nah, let's just leave it alone. Let's just leave it alone for now. Yeah, this concludes the video. So anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I will try my best to answer them all as soon as possible. Any configuration related questions, if I can't answer it, I will refer you to some documentation that looks like it could solve the issue that you're encountering. So anyways, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me during this somewhat not so painful but annoying hour. Alright, take care.